As many of you guys might know, the price of certain collectibles like trading cards and collectible video games have been seeing a lot of upward movement during the last year. I believe that a lot of people would love to invest in some of these items. The problem is, though, is that these items are simply out of the reach for many investors. That's where the sponsor of today's video comes in, Otis. Thanks to Otis for sponsoring today's video. Otis is an investment platform for cultural assets where almost anyone can buy and sell shares of rare collectibles, sneakers, and art. Not only is it pretty cool to say you own a piece of a LeBron James rookie card or a one-of-one game-worn Michael Jordan sneaker, but these items are also investments and can appreciate in value over time. Take, for example, sports cards, where the PWCC 100, which is an index for top sports cards, has actually outperformed the stock market since 2008. Otis has over 100 rare collectibles to choose from, including sports cards and memorabilia, graded comics, and video games, contemporary art, and even rare sneakers. Plus, they add new assets every single week. I'm personally very interested in both their Kevin Durant Warriors jersey from the 2017 Western Conference Semifinals, Game 1 and Game 2, which I just find very attractive and interesting to own a piece of this. Definitely history. So that's one of the assets I'm very interested in. And then also in cards, I'm really interested in their second year Michael Jordan PSA 10. So as you can see here, they give a lot of different kind of stats that really can help you make an informed decision. So as you can see here, you can view the trade history, the Otis estimate, which really helps out. And then there's a lot of highlights, how many investors there are, total shares. And then the price currently of the total asset right now is $25,610. So really important to make an informed decision with this, information. But thank you guys so much. If you would like to download Otis, sign up for Otis with my link down below, and you will get your first share free. So definitely go ahead, click the link down below if you are interested in Otis, at least to check out. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into the video. Guys, a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, we will be going over some cards that are doing very well right now. Of course, the basketball season is just underway, at least preseason. The season is starting up on Tuesday. But, of course, football is well underway, mid-season. So definitely a lot of things changing. But the first guy we have who we are going to talk about is Tyler Herro. So Tyler Herro, we're going to look at his Silver Prism PSA 10. That is currently $500. This card, of course, peaked at around $1,500 in the bubble. But, of course, it's really bottomed out, over the past few months, but it's recently really spiked. Of course, Herro's had a great preseason. There's a lot of hype kind of building around the Miami Heat right now, with, of course, Jimmy Butler. They've got Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker, and, of course, they've got Duncan Robinson, Tyler Herro, a lot of, Bam Adebayo. They've got a lot of threats right now, on their team. So I definitely think this is, for a good reason. I think Tyler Herro had a very disappointing season last year, and people are expecting change. Of course, he's put up some great numbers in preseason, and it's good to see his cards kind of react to his performance. So if we look at like his Prism Silver PSA 10, some were selling as low as like $300 to $350, just as of a few weeks ago. And of course, they're currently up to around $500. So we're nearly double, in the span of the last month, if you want to call it. So definitely great to see growth on Tyler Herro. In a similar situation with Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole, last year he was playing very well without Steph, but this year, with Steph, during preseason, he has been playing incredibly well. He's just a scoring machine. He's likely going to be a starter on the Warriors this season, at least until Klay Thompson comes back. And his Prism Silvers are really have really boosted over the last few weeks. His Prism Silver most recently, are going for around $400 to $450. This card was barely $100, just a few weeks ago. So it's definitely great to see the market reacting, the way it is to certain performances. I definitely think we're going to see a lot of Jordan Poole this season, so I still see some upside. However, if you're buying in now, you have to understand, that you're already paying a 2 times premium over, the last month. So it's definitely, hit or miss, I would say, but I think Jordan Poole is going to have a great season, alongside Steph. And of course, the Warriors have so many national TV games, a lot of hype around the team. So definitely not a bad time still, I would say. But without further ado, we're going to switch over to football for one pick, because Lamar Jackson and his 2018 Prism, is doing very well. Lamar Jackson has actually, started to really rebound his career, I would say. We're starting to see some great games, some great performances, and of course, I think a lot of this money that's pouring in is also kind of going away from Patrick Mahomes, because he has been struggling a little bit. But Lamar Jackson's PSA 10 is back up to $800. That is incredible considering, how low they dropped, in the last few months. So I definitely think that's a great sign. Of course, as I'm saying, it's obviously great to see a market reacting this way to performances. This was around a $600 card, not too long ago, and it's currently already up to $800. I guess we'll just have to see how Lamar Jackson continues to play. I think that's really the fate of this card price, but I definitely think it's great to see the market reacting to, great performances like Lamar. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next pick, and in this pick, there's not too many comps, but this card has definitely been doing incredibly well recently, and that is Steph Curry's 2009 Topps Chrome in a BGS 9.5. That is pretty much the only grade that is selling. Of course, it's very hard to see these sell too often, but this was around a $20,000 card for the longest time, for the last 3 to 4 months, and all of a sudden, the new comp comes in around 30,000. Of course, this has the centering with a 10, and the rest are 9.5s. But I definitely think we're starting to see some hype around Steph's cards. We could finally, of course, this year, we're finally going to see Klay Thompson come back. So I think a lot of people are really gravitating towards Steph's cards. He's had an incredible preseason. He just dropped 41 points the other night, on a light preseason day. So it's definitely going to be scary hours for the Warriors. And of course, if they do get Klay back, they're getting a lot of production from Jordan Poole, Otto Porter Jr. They're going to get Wiseman back. So it's overall a great situation, I think. And I think we're going to see the Warriors kind of, rebound this year. And I think people are really anticipating, a great season from Steph and the Warriors. And his cards are incredibly low population, especially his Topps Chromes. So definitely keep your eye out on these. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next and last pick. And that is Kevin Durant and his 2007 Topps Chrome PSA 10, which is up to around $4,800. This card has been, it really bottomed out around 3,000, I would say. I was being offered them for 3,000 not too long ago, probably 3 to 4 months ago. And they're currently rebounded around 50%, which is very impressive. We're starting to see some momentum gain for the Nets. This card has been essentially, slowly on the rise for the last few months. 2 months ago it was around a $4,000 card. Now it's around a $5,000 card. And 2 months prior to that, it bottomed out at around 3,300, I believe. So definitely, good to see these cards kind of starting to make a comeback, especially for guys like Kevin Durant, who have a lot of attention around them this season, especially with the Brooklyn Nets. They're, of course, favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference. So definitely going to look out for Kevin Durant's cards throughout the year. I do see some opportunity right now in some of his alternative cards that haven't reacted quite as well, such as his Bowman Chrome. So this is out of $2,999, quite low pop in a PSA 10. And, this is personally, I think this has the opportunity to be at the same price level as his Topps Chrome, if not very short, I would say very close to it, is my guess for the long term, just given, Bowman and Topps and in general, just the pop on this I really like. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much. And without further ado, I'm out. Peace.